And the other piece of this is that when we're on our individual journey and discovering more and more what it means to be comfortable with our own autonomy, the right to be ourselves in the world, it also means that we have to reconcile the world around us. That not everyone is going to understand or appreciate. Or, in fact, I would say sometimes people are either threatened by someone who's uniquely autonomous, or they're going to want you to fit in, to belong. There's a way in which there's pressures for each of us to comply or collude with, what it means to fit. And of course, because our need for acceptance usually starts with acceptance of other first, and then we can accept ourselves, then this is getting to the point where accepting ourselves, despite the fact that maybe not everyone is going to appreciate or understand why we're living our way. Taking control of our decisions, making our own mistakes even,
Yeah. For me personally, like the more I make mistakes, the more my self-awareness and self-acceptance really grows and strongly integrates within. But growing up, I had this strong sense, I felt so indifferent. Because when it comes to emotions, I grew up in a family where, I see violence, anger, all this kind of stuff. But I release through crying. Yes. But then the people around me always suppresses it out. But instead of listening about, okay, suppress, why are you showing that? Like, it feels good to me, so I'm gonna take it out. Yes. Growing up until puberty and all this stuff, heartbreaks, and the journey takes me in this kind of experiences that always brings me to tearing up. Yes. And my colleagues always says like, why are you crying? You're so emotional. And then I just let it go, like just cry. And today, looking back into what I did, listening to how I feel, it got me to a point where I feel so light because I'm not holding a lot within. And my, let's just say, intuition is stronger. Because every time I speak to these people who told me to suppress, they have more, like inner conflict, chaos. And then talking to them right now, it feels like it's really, self-knowledge, self-awareness and acceptance. It came from the journey living life, right? But it also depends on the structure that the external world imposed in someone. Does that, for you, like, did you have this moment in your experience where you feel like, okay, it started like you won't follow your religion, but is there layers and layers and layers, every experiences that comes up, and you need to, peel for you to be in tune with your true self?
What you're talking about is really important because we make choices. As to whether or not we allow ourselves to feel. You're using the word suppress. It's a good word. Repress is another one. So repression is when we put the emotion that's commensurate with the experience we're having, and we put it in the basement as if we shouldn't feel that. Okay? Restraint is actually a skill that says, okay, it's not appropriate right now for me to express this particular emotion, so I dial it down. Okay? Expression, and crying is a beautiful expression of an emotion, is the release of that emotion. Is the fluidity. Emotions are fluid. The fluidity of expression allows us to feel what we feel and for it to come through some form of expression. That's why creativity is so important, okay? Because whether it's music or dance or art or poetry, when we have an outlet for the feelings we have, as opposed to, and this is where trauma becomes such a big thing, is that trauma creates an impossibility to communicate or express the feeling because it's too big. So we repress it, and where does it come out? Through the cracks in the basement floor. At times when we go, why am I so angry? Because this little thing happened and I'm exploding into something quite inordinate for that event. So repression is a time bomb. It's waiting for things to happen. Or it comes at such a strong price of control. Okay, we become very controlling when we have a lot of repressed emotion in our basement, in our subconscious. We have to control life, because if we don't, then the fear is we're going to be overwhelmed by the emotion that we've been repressing.